Charles Kao at the WTTC Global Travel Summit in Abu Dhabi with Taleb Rifai, Secretary General of the UNWTO. That's a UN World Tourism Organization, a UN agency that looks after the tourism around the world from the governmental side. Hello, Taleb.
Very nice to meet you again, Charles.
We're here at the World Travel and Tourism Council Summit, which represents the private sector. Again, now I think it's 3 or 4 years since the Brazil summit. UNWTO has taken a major joint cooperative workings with WTTC, merging the governmental and private sector. I take it for granted now, while 3 or 4 years ago was the first time. How do you view it?
I think it's been a tremendous record in the last 3 to 4 years. I think people seeing us together at this summit, seeing WTTC and many of the private sector operators at our conferences and our meetings and our general assemblies is a tremendous achievement. That's the way we send a message, and that's the way we set an example. This industry can never grow without public-private partnerships. And if we don't set the example, we will be preaching what we are not doing.
Has there been any actual projects, more than communiques, that has arisen out of this partnership?
Well, we have the global leadership campaign, which has been going on for the last 2 years, which has been tremendous success. In the last 24 months, we have met with 49 presidents and heads of states, presented them with the data, with the information about how important tourism is in their own countries. And by doing that, in each and every country that we visited, both David Skousen and myself, we have made an impact. And we have affected public policies and public perception as to how important the travel and tourism industry is. That's a project. That may be seen as just another campaign, but it's an important campaign that is reflecting and translating into changes on the ground. Of course, in addition to that, we have a lot of joint projects when it comes to data, statistics, and research. We have concluded together this very important piece on visas and entry formalities that we presented to the G20, a study that took us a long period of time and has proven to be one of the most valuable documents that triggered the statement that was included in the final communique of the G20 leaders. We're embarking now on another study on the impact of intelligent taxations on the total economic scene, and many other areas that we are looking at to work together.
That's a lot of accomplishments. Congratulations. In a few months, UNWTO will have its every 2-year General Assembly. 2 years ago was in Korea, and this year will be in Victoria Falls with Zambia and Zimbabwe as a host. What is the world, and in particular your hosts in Central Africa, looking to achieve from the General Assembly this year?
Well, the General Assembly is a big event because it happens once every 2 years, and the world ministers and world leaders in the government sector in tourism assemble. Together with them, of course, you have big representation from the private sector and all other stakeholders, universities, academia, NGOs. This time it's happening in Southern Africa, in Victoria Falls, which is the first time it ever happens. This is the second time ever in the history of UNWTO that we hold a meeting in Africa. The first one was in 2005 in Senegal, and this is the second time. So we're first sending a message that the world is shifting and that Africa is important and that we can do big things in Africa, which we are, I hope. This meeting is going to be a very symbolically important meeting, but it is also a meeting that comes at a critical time as well, where the shift in favor of emerging destinations is becoming clearer and clearer. This last year, China became #1 exporter of tourists to the world, outbeating Germany for a long period of time, took that position. 18 million people traveled out of China for tourism purposes in 2012. That's tremendous. Our forecast is saying that by 2030, 60% of the tourists of the world will be going to emerging destinations as opposed to the mature and established destinations.
Really?
So this meeting comes at a very, very critical time where all of these data's, conclusions and results will be announced, debated and discussed.
The private sector in the host country areas, what might they get out of their country hosting this event? Are they doing anything to, so to speak, spin it or take advantage of the attention?
Of course, Charles. It's a tremendous promotional tool. I mean, the fact that a country is able to carry 3,000-4,000 people representing 160 countries and governments all over the world with a tremendous number of ministers and delegations is by itself a manifestation of the capacity and the ability of the country to organize something like this. Not many countries around the world can do that. So that's already a testimony for the destination itself, of its ability and its capacity. But beyond that, it is a promotional tool to say that yes, tourism is important to us and we are investing in this, investing in holding this meeting and in putting all the efforts and energy and resources into making this meeting happen. So it puts the destination at the map of the world and highlights its importance as a destination that values and cherishes tourism.
Taleb Rifai, Secretary General of UNWTO, thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Likewise.